This dude needs no introduction. I mean, look at him. He's a freak of nature, standing at a towering 7'5" in shoes and an 8-foot wingspan. He's an absolute unit. And when you factor in the skills he brings to the table, it's not hard to see why he's considered a generational talent. I know the 2023 NBA draft is still a ways off, but trust me, this guy is worth getting excited about. The French sensation is undoubtedly the #1 prospect in this year's draft. And when watching his highlight reels, it's easy to see why. Honestly, I believe that Wemby has the potential to become the best player in the entire NBA one day. Yeah, you heard that right. I know that's a bold statement, but when you look at his physical tools combined with his basketball IQ and skill set, it's not hard to imagine him dominating the league. Oh, and make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. That way, you won't miss out on any of our NBA content. Now, as you already know, Giannis is one of the biggest names in the NBA right now. So when Giannis says something, people listen. And what did he have to say, you might ask? Well, he had some pretty high praise for Wemby. He said, he has the chance to be one of the best, not at his age, not in Europe, but one of the best to ever play this game. We have never seen someone like that before. I think it's a good challenge for everybody in the league to have someone who is 7'2" and is able to shoot over you, dribble like he's a guard, block shots, and run down the floor fast. You gotta get ready for this kid, you know? He's going to be really good. The defensive upside for a guy of Wembanyama's size is obvious. He's a towering presence on the court, and that alone makes him a nightmare for opposing teams. The way Wembanyama is able to impact shots is just insane. Even if he can't block a shot outright, he'll still be able to get in the way and make it difficult for the shooter to convert. And that's huge. It can mean the difference between a missed shot and a made one. Wembanyama is also a beast in the paint. He moves incredibly well and is able to anticipate the movements of his opponents, making him a formidable help side defender. He's so good that he's become notorious for blocking the shots of players he's not directly defending. That's how impressive he is. When it comes to shooting from behind the arc, he's still got some work to do. But don't let that fool you, because scouts have full confidence that he'll improve in that area. The mechanics of his shot are so fluid and smooth, it's only a matter of time before he becomes a consistent threat from downtown. And as you know, when we talk about shooting the three, there's only one true king, and you all know who I'm talking about. The one and only Steph Curry. Steph has some interesting things to say about Wemby too. He said, he's like the 2K creative player, every point guard that wants to be 7 foot, cheat code type vibes. He's a solid talent. It's great to watch. But in all seriousness, to be compared to a creative player from NBA 2K is huge. This guy is not only comfortable in spot-up situations, but he's also becoming more and more willing to take difficult triples. I mean, seriously, have you seen Wemby shoot? Whether he's pulling up from multiple feet behind the line, fading away, or even shooting off the dribble, Wembanyama's got the ability to knock it down. And the best part, his high release point means that he can shoot over anyone without his shot being altered. Now, talking about fadeaways, to the guy who became the NBA all-time scorer with a fadeaway jumper, the king himself, LeBron James, also had something to say on Wemby. He said, everybody's been a unicorn over the last few years, but he's more like an alien. No one has ever seen anyone as tall as he is, but as fluid and as graceful as he is on the floor. Now, that's high praise coming from LeBron, and it's for good reason. Now, don't get me wrong, the kid has got some serious skills, but there's one area where he needs to step up his game, and that's shot selection. I mean, come on, you can't deny that he often settles for bad shots when he could easily get an easy bucket. And as he moves up the ranks and faces tougher competition in the NBA, he's going to have to make better decisions with the ball. It's going to be interesting to see if he can step up his game and adjust to the competition at the highest level. Another area that needs improvement is his free throw shooting. It has improved, but it's not quite there yet. And let's face it, free throws can make or break a game in the NBA. But you know who else has been struggling with free throws? Giannis. He's had his own struggles from the charity stripe. But the Greek Freak recently added to his props on Wemby, saying, this kid is going to be a problem, a big problem. I'd never seen this before in my life. I saw him up close. He was on the same team as my brother, Costas. He's taller than Rudy Gobert. He can block shots like Rudy, but shoot like KD. Bro, crazy. He has a good attitude. If he stays healthy, he's going to be really good. And not only is Wembanyama a floor spacer at his size, but he can, of course, produce points in the paint. I mean, look at his touch around the rim. It's like he's got feathers on his fingertips or something. And if that's not impressive enough, he can straight up posterize anyone who gets in his way. But here's the thing, Wembanyama is not relying on his size and athleticism to score. No, this dude has some serious post moves. We're talking footwork that will make Akeem Olajuwon proud. The 18-year-old phenom is also deadly in the pick and roll. The way he spaces the floor vertically is unlike any other prospect we've seen in recent years. I'm telling you, he is going to be a nightmare for defenses as the roll man or even when popping at the next level. And let's not forget about his lob radius. It's next level. I'm talking quick points for the offense and making life easy for guards running the action. KD, the two-time NBA champion and current guard for the Phoenix Suns, also gave his thoughts on Wembanyama, and it's safe to say that he's impressed. Durant said, "That type of talent and skill just puts a smile on your face if you play basketball. The league's really in trouble when he comes in. I want to see how it plays out. Everybody's been excited about his arrival to the league, so we'll see what happens." It's not every day that you hear a player like Durant showering love and praise for a prospect who hasn't even played a single NBA game yet. But it just goes to show you how much potential Wembanyama has and how excited people are to see what he can do on the court. Now, I know the most obvious concern is with his frame, but he's not actually as skinny as people make him out to be. However, there has been some questions around his injury history. Dating back to 2020, he suffered at least 5 injuries that have kept him out for extended periods of time. And last year, his season was even cut short because of injuries. But here's the thing, even with those concerns, Wembanyama is still the best prospect in this year's class by a long shot. He brings so much to the table from a physical standpoint that it's hard to imagine any team passing on him with the top pick. And if he can stay healthy, there's no doubt that he could be one of the best players in the league in just a few short years. Now, Rudy Gobert, the Minnesota Timberwolves center, has been keeping an eye on Wemby since he was 13 years old, and he's impressed. He's excited about the possibility of teaming up with Wemby in the front court. In fact, Rudy had this to say about him.
"It's really exciting. We are lucky to have such talent. We have never seen a player like Victor. I've known him since he was 13, and we knew he was going to be unique. He's very mature. He knows where he wants to go. I don't think there is any comparison possible."
And I couldn't agree more with Gobert. Victor is a one-of-a-kind player with a ton of potential. Unless something major happens between now and the draft, there's no way this guy doesn't go number 1 overall. Even if other players in this class have a historic season, there's no way you can pass up on the intangibles that this 7-foot-tall beast possesses. Recently, NBA legend Magic Johnson sat down for an interview with Brian Kabrowski from For the Win. And you know they had to talk about Wembanyama. And let me tell you, Magic had nothing but massive praise for the superstar. He said, "Whew, man, I don't know if we've seen a big man who can do the things that he can. Normally, you have one or the other. Either your post game is good or your outside jump shot is good. We've never seen a guy who can do both and can handle the basket and can also handle the basketball. He can block shots. He can affect the game in so many different ways. And whoever gets him, this guy's going to change his franchise forever. The hype is real." There's no secret that teams have been tanking in order to increase their chances of landing this young superstar, although he himself made his feelings clear about that strategy. But regardless of all that, Wembanyama is still the clear favorite to be the top pick in the draft. The hype and expectations are already sky high, and who knows what kind of magic he'll bring to the league. One thing's for sure though, he's going to be a force in the NBA. So keep an eye out for Wemby, and who knows, maybe one day we'll be talking about him as one of the greatest players to ever step on the court. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.